Jasper's 6-month birthday today, right, buddy? How do you feel now you're half a year old? He's Mr. Squirmy. He likes to scoot around everywhere, and he can roll like nobody's business. Jasper. Oh, yeah? Jasper. Sometimes he knows his name. Other times he just ignores you, right? What else can you do now that you're 6 months old? Say, I like to eat baby foods. He loves food. Mommy makes him all kinds of veggie baby foods. Right. And he just had oatmeal this morning. It's the first time he actually liked it. Yeah. And he loves grabbing things and looking at them and playing with them. If you hold something up to him, he'll grab it like this. Ooh, what's that? It's a book. He'll look at it for a second. And then he'll stick it in his mouth. And he really likes textures too. He really likes this sweater of Mommy's. Right, because it has the lace on it. He's very squirmy, very talkative, and he loves attention. He doesn't like being ignored, do you? Said, if I'm awake, it's about me, and that's that. He and Mommy are both getting over a little sickness. His first real sickness. And he really loves doggies. Look at the baby. He's amused by doggies. Oh, and he loves cars too. Every time a car goes by when we're outside, he watches it drive all the way by. Yeah, said, it's time for my nap though, Mom. Stop doing that video. All right, say happy 6-month birthday to me. Bye-bye, bye-bye. You're gonna have to excuse me, I'm getting over a little bit of a cold. Jasper gave it to me. We've both been sniffling and coughing nonstop for the past week or so. So this is gonna be a video on, or a follow-up video to my previous video about what I learned the first 3 months of being a new mom. And this one is gonna be about the next 3 months. So months 4 through 6 and the things that I learned. Some tips and tricks. Last video I kind of rambled at the beginning and didn't get to the point quick, so I want to make sure that I get to the point. So the first tip that I have that kind of coincides with me and Jasper being all sick is to buy a humidifier or a vaporizer. They're super helpful whenever your baby gets all stuffed up and can't breathe at night. We didn't have one until Jasper got sick and not able to sleep because he just kept waking up every time he would cough, and then he would cry and it would make his coughing worse. It was like an endless cycle of not sleeping. So then in the middle of the night I just went out to Walmart and got a vaporizer, which helped tremendously. I went there to get a humidifier, but when you get there, you have an option of getting a vaporizer or a humidifier. And I didn't know anything about a vaporizer before I went there, but apparently a vaporizer boils the water to make steam in the room, and a humidifier just lets out cool air. But I researched them for 15 minutes. I stood there trying to figure out which one to get, and the vaporizer, first of all, was cheaper, and it does the exact same thing as the humidifier, except it uses warm air. But apparently it's healthier too because the water's boiled before the steam goes out into the room, and so it causes less molding. Since the humidifier doesn't boil the water, it molds easier, and so that's the main reason why I got it, because I don't have to clean mold up every time I use it, or every week that I use it. So definitely get one of those. He sleeps much easier than he did without it. The next thing, this could apply from day one, but don't focus on getting really expensive clothes that they fit in at the moment. We got hand-me-down clothes, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But if you're buying all your clothes, don't buy a bunch of clothes in one size that fits them right now, because they're gonna outgrow them in 2 weeks or something. They're only gonna get to wear them one time, and you're gonna spend $20 on an outfit for practically nothing. So now that we're getting through all the clothes that we got from our baby shower and stuff, my new way to deal with the clothes is just buying clothes that are really big for him so that he has a lot of time to wear them. There's nothing wrong with rolling up sleeves or rolling up pant legs. Also, decide how, not just what you want your baby to eat whenever he starts eating solids, but how you want to introduce solids to him, because from the beginning I knew that I wanted to make my own baby food for Jasper, but I had no idea there was this other way of introducing solids called baby-led weaning until he started eating solids. I had to stop the video earlier because, for a lot of reasons actually, Patrick wanted to make some food and it was kind of noisy and the baby woke up, so I just decided to finish it later. And later is now. Let's see, where was I? So, baby-led weaning. It's like a new age way of introducing solids to babies. I guess not really, because that's probably how they did it in caveman ages. But here, let me get Jasper because he's just sitting over there. And I'm sure you guys would like to see him. Is he in the video? We just went on a walk and I got some dandelions that were already dying, so they're all fluffy, and I blew them in front of his face. And he was laughing. He loved it. But anyways, okay, so baby-led weaning. I haven't done it very much yet because I'm still waiting for him to be able to sit up all the way. Can sit up, kind of, but not straight and not for very long. So baby-led weaning is kind of interesting to me because it's more of a natural way, I think, of introducing solids than purees with a spoon. Basically all you do is give them the food that you're eating whenever you eat at the table. And at the very beginning, some foods like potatoes or squash, just various foods that aren't very chewable, just steaming them for a little bit so they're a little more chewable, I'm pretty sure is what you're supposed to do. But even so, they're not really interested in eating. I've tried to give him a couple pieces of food and he mainly just plays with it. He doesn't really eat it. Sometimes I'll try to stick it in his mouth, but most of the things that I have readily available are bananas and avocado, and he can't really grasp those very well because they're really slippery. So yeah, you're supposed to roll those in some dry cereal or something, or some oatmeal so that they can grip them easier. It's something I haven't started quite yet. I'm mainly just still making baby food purees with organic vegetables. I don't really use fruits. He doesn't really like fruits that much. So if you want to learn more about baby-led weaning, look it up. It's pretty cool. Supposedly it helps them learn how to chew better and learn how to swallow better, and it's actually less likely that they will choke because they've had the practice of grabbing the food, sticking it in their mouth, chewing it until they are able to swallow it. So look up more about it. I don't know that much about it yet. Don't take my word for it. I'm not a super expert yet. But yeah, it's interesting, and I think I'm gonna start doing it once he's can sit up really well in his high chair. But right now he really, he loves baby food, so I don't see why I should not let him eat it if he wants it. He's really good at eating it too. He opens his mouth for every bite and everything. And when I say, "You want foods?" he knows what that means usually. So yeah, look up different ways of introducing solids to your baby, and see which one you prefer to do before your baby gets to the age where they can eat solids. He's Mr. Grabby right now. Oh, that's another thing. They want to grab everything. I think that started just this past month, probably. Months 5 to 6. My husband cut his beard because he was tired of Jasper grabbing his beard all the time because it hurt so bad. But yeah, he'll grab my hair all the time and pull it, my ears, my necklace. He loves grabbing my necklace, especially while he's breastfeeding. And he will grab a chunk of skin and dig his nails into it, so you have to make sure that you keep their nails cut, even though it's scary because you think you're gonna cut their skin whenever you're cutting their nails. But trust me, you want to do it because he also grabs his own body and scratches it all up, so that can't be very fun. Yeah, be prepared for the grabbing. Okay, so there's way less unreasonable crying now that they're a little older and now that you know them better. I just remember, especially the first month, I was going psycho because I couldn't figure out why he was crying a lot of time, which it was actually because he had gas most of the time. He doesn't really have gas very much. I think he's had it only a handful of times in the past 3 months. So yeah, he's usually pretty happy. Only times he really cries is when he's hungry. And one thing actually I didn't write down, but is pretty annoying and kind of a big deal, are these rashes. He has one on his cheek right now, and it's like on his chest and on his back, and he has had that for 2 months now or something. I don't know. He's had it for a long time. I can't really remember when it started, but it started getting worse the beginning of the 5th month. My mom, who's our pediatrician, said that you literally have to just put cream on it or like coconut oil on it non-stop all day every day because they just wipe it off, and it has to be constantly hydrated to actually work. But I put it on so much and it's still there. I've kind of gotten lazy with it just because it hasn't really done much. Like at night before he goes to bed, I'll just like douse him in the cream, and we use Aquaphor because that seems to have worked the best so far. But you just have to keep doing it because it comes back. It's actually eczema. I don't know if I said that. It doesn't really seem to bother him that much, so he'll be okay. He's gonna outgrow it. So, also, he was like a super good on-schedule sleeper for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th month, and somewhere along the way he just decided, I guess because we went out of town a couple times, he's getting sleepy. Tired? Just stop here in a second and put him to bed. Speaking of bed, let me just finish this real quick and I'll put you to bed. Okay, he kind of got off his sleep schedule routine whenever we like went on a lot of vacations, and me and Patrick had to go work at some fireworks shows all through December. So he had to stay at grandma's house, and he just got real confused about his sleep schedule because we would pick him up in the middle of the night and then put him back down when we got home, and he was like, this is crazy, I don't know what's happening. But he was good at learning how to get back onto the schedule after like a week or so. But it's kind of crazy if you ever go out of town. Be ready for redoing the sleep routine after the vacation when you get back home. And now he's decent at sleeping through the night. He'll sleep through the night every now and then. I just expect him to wake up like once in the night, and all I do is just go in there, feed him, put him back down, and he goes right back to sleep. So it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, he's a pretty good sleeper other than that. And he takes nice long naps, which is really nice. Knock on wood. So yeah, I'm going to pause for now and go put him to bed. Good night, everybody. Oh, burp. Yeah, see, that's my rash. I always scratch it. I'll be back. He's grabbing my list. That's not for you. Mom life, woo! Alright, so I got him to bed. Usually he goes to bed around like 8 or 8:30 these days, but it's just different every day. Sometimes he only gets 2 naps in, depending on what time he woke up in the morning. Other days he gets 3 naps that are shorter. It really just depends how long his naps were. Okay, so during like the 5th month, they get like super interested in like different textures. What I've been doing is when I need like a couple spare minutes, I just give Jasper some paper, some newspaper, and he loves just like looking at it and crinkling it. And then I'll wear this sweater that has lace on the shoulders. Every time I wear it, he like runs his hand over it a bunch of times. So yeah, different textures and different materials are really entertaining. If you can, just gather up a bunch of different textured things. Definitely paper and like cardboard, and then just different types of materials like lace or like beaded material. Just use your imagination and get a box and put them all in there. Every time you need a spare minute, just get something out of that box and give it to him. And then every once in a while, I'll come back and give him something different. That'll keep him entertained for a pretty good amount of time. So they also start bringing out their personality a lot more during these months. They're really fun to play with and joke around with. They kind of understand humor, which is really cute. When you try to make them laugh, they actually laugh. The first 3 months, they just don't understand that concept, and they start getting kind of a little attitude and start talking a lot. Not like actual English words, but baby words. Jasper talks all the time. He just like rambles on and on, especially when he's in a good mood. He'll just talk and talk. we'll just talk random nonsense back to him, like little baby conversation. Another thing we have done these past couple months is try to get Jasper out of his sleep sack, which I have another point on that in a second. We are using a Lovey, which is just like a little stuffed animal blanket kind of thing. You can find them on Amazon. That's where we got ours. It's just like a lion head with a blanket. But if you look up Lovey on Amazon, then you'll find them. Yeah, we just got one for him and we give it to him every night. But really you just want to, every time you remember, just give it to him. Especially when like he's feeding, because you want to start making him feel comforted by the Lovey. He'll start associating the Lovey with comfort. So then when you're trying to get them out of a sleep sack, or when you're leaving them with somebody else and they start developing the separation anxiety, which he is kind of starting that, like just the past week or so. I can tell that like when I walk out of the room, he kind of notices and he'll start crying. He never noticed when I left before. But yeah, I think he's starting to like the Lovey. He falls asleep with it on his face usually. So yeah, use a Lovey. I mean, I guess you can use really any stuffed animal or anything, but I think a Lovey is nice because it has a little face and it's really easy for them to hold on to because it's like a little blanket. Alright, I have one more tip. Only if you decided to swaddle your baby when he was a newborn. Getting a baby out of a swaddle is kind of frustrating and kind of a hassle, but I definitely think it was worth all the sleep that I got when he was a newborn, having him in the swaddle. But I am having to work kind of hard on getting him out of the swaddle now that he's too big for a swaddle. I made him a sleep sack, which I have another video on how to make a sleep sack to transition from a swaddle, so go watch that. I've been using that and I'm still using that, and he just turned 6 months old and I'm really trying hard to get him out of it. I've tried a couple times laying him down without a sleep sack and he's just really confused. Like, I don't think he understands it's time to go to sleep. I did transition to one arm out of the sleep sack, so usually I tied it up on top of his shoulders, but now I tie it like under one arm. One arm's inside and one arm's out, and I've done that for like probably around 2 weeks now. We've switched arms back and forth, like which one's in and which one's out, so he can get used to both arms being out, just not at the same time yet. I think the sleep sack is like a sleep cue for him. Like once the sleep sack goes on, he knows he's gonna go to bed. So I think as long as I just put it up over his legs and tie it under his arms, that's good enough. And then eventually when he's older, I can stop using the sleep sack altogether. But the main point is for his arms to be out so that if he rolls over, he can get back onto his back or adjust himself so he can breathe. Right now I kind of have like it so where he can't roll over. So yeah, training out of a sleep sack is a little bit of a chore, but I think a swaddle, I think a swaddle is definitely worth it to get sleep during the newborn stage. Yeah, also they start rolling a lot, so that also kind of messes up their sleep routine because they'll roll onto their stomach. Jasper knows how to roll back onto his back, but he doesn't for some reason at night when he's in his crib. He just rolls onto his stomach and then will freak out. So yeah, be prepared for getting up to put your baby back onto his back when he rolls over, or letting him just figure it out and learning how to get back onto his back, or learning how to sleep on his stomach. So yeah, sleeping, all these new stages kind of mess with the sleep, but you just kind of have to go with the flow. And overall, the sleep isn't too horrible. It's definitely better than in the newborn stages when you have to get up and feed every 3 hours. So yeah, that's all my tips and tricks for new moms for months 4 through 6. If you haven't seen my other video for months 1 through 3, go watch that. Also, like this video if it helped you out. Subscribe to my channel because I need more subscribers. And I'll be coming out with more savvy saver home techniques that me and my husband use to save money and to live a minimal life so we can have more time to spend with each other. Right now we're actually working on a baby bouncer, and I'm making a video showing how we made that, so it should be up in the next week or so. So subscribe to my channel and you won't miss it. That's all. Bye!